Before there was Thanos, before there was Kong, there was one name whispered even by gods, Victor Von Doom. To the world, he is a tyrant. To himself, a savior. And to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, he may become the greatest villain it will ever face. Because Dr. Doom isn't evil for evil's sake. He's something far more terrifying. A man who believes he's right. In the small European nation of Latveria, a child was born among tragedy and mysticism. His mother, a sorceress who defied demons. His father, a healer who died fleeing tyranny. From them, young Victor learned two truths: the world is cruel, and power is the only cure. Gifted with a mind that rivaled the greatest scientists on Earth, Doom became obsessed with mastering science and magic alike. He saw the two not as opposites, but as twin tools of dominion. While others studied to understand the universe, Doom studied to control it. At Empire State University, he met Reed Richards, a fellow genius, and the man who would become his eternal rival. Both brilliant, both driven. But where Reed sought knowledge for discovery, Doom sought it for revenge. One experiment, one mistake, changed everything. Doom's device, built to contact his mother's soul in the netherworld, exploded. The blast scarred his face. Humiliated, expelled, and consumed by rage, he disappeared. And in that exile, Doom was born. Years later, whispers spread across Europe. A man in armor had seized power in Latveria. His name was Doom. He built a kingdom of perfection. No crime, no poverty, no rebellion. A land of peace under his rule alone. To the outside world, it was tyranny. To his people, it was order. And that is the paradox of Dr. Doom. He conquers not to destroy, but to save by force. While Tony Stark wore armor to protect humanity, Victor Von Doom forged his to control it. Every inch of his steel skin hides a man convinced that only his hand can shape destiny. He has studied under monks, battled demons, and built machines that rival gods. He has stood before Mephisto, challenged Galactus, and even stolen the power cosmic itself. But the secret to his power isn't his sorcery or technology. It's his will. No one, not even Thanos, believes in their cause as much as Doom believes in his own. Unlike other villains, Doom doesn't crave chaos. He craves perfection. He sees himself as the solution to a broken world. His code is simple. If no one else can fix it, then I must. And the terrifying part? He can. Because Doom isn't just a scientist or sorcerer. He's the embodiment of human potential twisted by pride. He's what happens when genius outgrows morality. While Thanos sought to balance life by killing half the universe, Doom would never leave such a task to chance. He'd build a better universe, one that obeys his vision. And unlike Thanos, Doom doesn't need an army. He only needs himself. The MCU has shown us gods, titans, and conquerors. But Doom is something else entirely. A villain who mirrors the heroes, not mocks them. He's as intelligent as Tony Stark, as strategic as Nick Fury, as stubborn as Steve Rogers, and as dangerous as Loki, but with the discipline Loki never had. In Doom, the MCU won't just find another threat, it'll find its reflection. Because everything the Avengers built, Doom could build better. And that's what makes him unstoppable. When he finally steps into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, it won't be as a madman in a mask. It'll be as a man who believes he's the only one worthy of saving it. And that belief will make him divine. To understand why Dr. Doom will rise above every villain before him, you must first understand his philosophy. Unlike Thanos, who sought balance through destruction, Doom seeks perfection through domination. He doesn't serve chaos, he serves order. His order. And in his mind, that makes him not a monster, but a messiah. Inside Doom's armor lies not just a genius intellect, but an unyielding certainty. He does not doubt. He does not waver. He believes in himself with a devotion that borders on the divine. To Doom, the universe is a broken equation. Every war, every injustice, every weakness is simply a symptom of humanity's failure to submit to logic, his logic. He once said, "I am Doom. The rest of you exist only to prove me right." That's not arrogance. That's faith in himself. And that faith is his superpower. It's what drives him to create, to conquer, to rewrite reality itself when the universe refuses to obey him. No other villain in the MCU's history could stand as both a rival to Tony Stark's intellect and a threat to Doctor Strange's mysticism. But Doom can. He builds machines that defy physics, and casts spells that defy gods. Where Stark forged his armor from engineering, Doom built his from science and sorcery combined, a fusion of logic and the supernatural, mind and mystic energy. He can bend dimensions like Strange. He can outthink Stark in minutes. And unlike either of them, he answers to no one. Imagine the MCU where technology and magic finally collide, and the man standing in the middle is the only one who truly understands both. That's not just power. That's balance, taken by force. Here's what makes Doom terrifying. He doesn't fight against humanity. He fights for it just on his own terms. He looks at the Avengers and sees failure. Their heroism breeds conflict. Their victories create new villains. Their mercy prolongs suffering. To Doom, the world doesn't need heroes. It needs a ruler. He would cure hunger by enslaving greed. He would end war by removing choice. He would stop death by denying freedom. And in his twisted vision, it all makes sense. That's the brilliance of Victor Von Doom. He's not evil. He's efficient. At his core, Doom is a man at war with the divine. He doesn't just seek power, he seeks to surpass God himself. In the comics, he's faced celestial beings, defied Mephisto, and even stole the power of the Beyonder, becoming God Emperor Doom during Secret Wars. For a brief moment, the multiverse was his. Worlds bent to his will. Reality obeyed him. And the terrifying truth? It worked. Under Doom's rule, there was order, peace, structure. But it came at a price, freedom. Because when Doom rules, there are no choices. Only obedience. In that silence, he saw perfection. And believed he was right to enforce it. That is the heart of Doom's philosophy, a God complex built on logic. He doesn't just want to rule. He wants to fix everything. By making the universe more like him. What makes Doom's story so dangerous is that he reflects every hero the MCU has ever built. He is Tony Stark without restraint, genius without humility. He is Doctor Strange without compassion, mysticism without morality. He is Black Panther without balance, leadership without empathy. He is every great hero's ambition, taken to its final, inevitable conclusion. And that's why no Avenger will be ready for him. Because Doom won't destroy them through power, he'll defeat them through purpose. He'll force them to question whether their way was ever truly right. If Thanos was destiny, if Kong was time, then Doom is inevitability. He isn't coming to conquer. He's coming to inherit what he already believes is his. The world, the universe, the multiverse, all of it destined to fall under the rule of the one man who believes he's above all others. And when he looks upon gods and heroes alike, he'll whisper the same words he's said for decades. There is no victory but Doom's. The MCU's heroes have faced power. They've faced madness. But they have never faced conviction. That's why Doom will change everything. Because when he rises, the question won't be, can he be stopped? It will be, what if he's right? When Victor Von Doom finally arrives in the MCU, he won't just be another villain. He'll be the end of the current era, and the beginning of something far more dangerous. Because Doom doesn't just defeat heroes. He redefines them. The MCU has built its world on gods, kings, and geniuses. But Doom will make them all feel small. He comes from Latveria, a nation hidden in the shadows of Europe, a place where science and mysticism blend seamlessly under his rule. There, he's not a criminal. He's a king. He feeds his people, protects them, and makes their land thrive, but under an iron fist. To the world, that makes him a tyrant. To his people, he's a savior. That's the duality that makes him unstoppable. While the Avengers debate ethics, Doom acts. While they question, Doom commands. He doesn't need approval. He doesn't need a team. He needs only his will. And that's what will make his entrance in the MCU feel like a storm, inevitable, overwhelming, and utterly righteous in his own eyes. In the comics, Doom's rise to godhood wasn't just ambition, it was inevitable. He faced cosmic entities, battled the Fantastic Four, outsmarted Galactus, and even seized the power of the Beyonder. When the multiverse collapsed, it was Doom who saved it by remaking it in his image. He built a world called Battleworld, where fragments of broken realities were stitched together under his control. And for years, Doom ruled it like a god. Heroes bowed before him. Even Reed Richards, his eternal rival, was powerless. But what made that story haunting wasn't his victory. It was what it revealed, that Doom's greatest enemy was never Reed. It was himself. Despite all his brilliance, all his power, Doom's need for control always leads to one thing: ruin. Because no matter how perfect he builds the world, he can't escape the one flaw that dooms him every time: his own pride. Marvel has always built its villains as reflections of its heroes. Killmonger mirrored T'Challa. Vulture mirrored Stark. Thanos mirrored the Avengers' obsession with control. But Doom? He mirrors everyone. He is every hero's reflection of what happens when conviction turns into obsession. When faith in purpose becomes faith in oneself alone. That's why his presence will change the entire cinematic landscape. Because Doom doesn't just fit into one storyline. He belongs to all of them. He can clash with the Fantastic Four as their nemesis. Challenge Doctor Strange for mastery of reality. Face Black Panther over global power. And even step into the cosmic stage where he could rival Thanos himself. Everywhere he goes, he elevates the stakes. Because Doom doesn't play a part in the story, he becomes the story. The reason Doom endures from comics to cinema is because he represents human potential without morality. He is what happens when genius, pain, and purpose fuse into one unstoppable will. He was a child who lost his mother to dark magic. A prodigy who tried to save her soul and scarred his face in the process. That pain forged the armor. That scar forged the man. And from that moment, Doom vowed never to be weak again. Never to bow. Never to be lesser than gods, heroes, or destiny. That's why he wears the mask. Not to hide his scar, but to remind the world that even imperfection can command power. This is his symbol, his crown, his curse. Imagine a phase where Doom manipulates both Earth's heroes and cosmic beings alike. Where his intellect challenges Reed Richards, his magic threatens Doctor Strange, and his technology reshapes the entire world order. He's not a villain who wants to destroy reality. He's one who wants to own it. And when he finally takes the stage, the MCU will transform from stories about saving the world to stories about who deserves to rule it. Because Doom's rule is inevitable. His voice, calm and regal, will echo through the MCU like a prophecy fulfilled. He'll stand before gods and say, "No more chaos. No more chance. Only doom." Every Marvel saga has its symbol. Iron Man's heart. Captain America's shield. Thanos' gauntlet. But when Dr. Doom arrives, the MCU will gain something greater, a crown. Not forged by destiny, but taken by will. Because Doom isn't here to end an era. He's here to redefine it. And when his shadow falls across the multiverse, one truth will echo louder than all others. The Age of Heroes was only the beginning. The Age of Doom has begun.